Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cali LaVeo channel. If you didn't know, I'm a car enthusiast over there on the Insta. Check it out, follow it, do what you like, whatever. But we're gonna jump right into it. So back, I think right before COVID, this incident happened with this young Asian woman, Colorado teen. I deleted the original video, but this is why I pretty much make videos on Asian people, because this is what sparked the most of the content that I post. It was mainly, I noticed when I post, about specific things, people will grapple onto it, like the homeless issues and Asian people. But it's all good though, right? So let's tap in and see what happened.
A plastic surgeon will spend 15 days in jail and 2 years on probation for his role in the death of a patient in 2019. The young woman's heart stopped after she was sedated for breast augmentation surgery.
Now, though she was revived, Emmeline Nguyen received catastrophic brain injury from this, and she died 14 months later. Investigative reporter Kevin Vaughn was in the court this morning, and you're joining us now from the newsroom, Kevin. The big issue here was Dr. Geoffrey Kim's actions after this emergency happened.
That's right, Alex. He got her heart beating again, but over the next 5 hours, he failed to transfer her to a hospital or allow anyone to call 911, and he misled her family about the seriousness of what happened. Dr. Geoffrey Kim and his attorneys spent about 90 minutes in court this morning awaiting his fate. He'd been convicted earlier this year of charges of attempted reckless manslaughter and obstructing telephone service for his role in the death of Emmeline Nguyen.
Breast implant surgeries, very risky, right? It doesn't even matter what age. And when it comes to dealing with, private practices and people that run their own practices, you really have to, research them and everything. I mean, that doesn't guarantee that everything's gonna go smoothly, right? But she was just a teen. And, this is devastating for anybody, their child, their baby girl, whatever. But it's like now in America, everybody's so obsessed with BBLs, Dr. Miami, all these unnecessary surgeries, right? It's like, look at her. She looks flawless right there. But, nobody's ever happy with their looks, so we do a little bit more, even if we risk our lives. That's too bad. I'm not making fun of this, but this should be a lesson to anybody that gets obsessed off of plastic surgeries unnecessarily and all this. Well, you probably tell me, well, Callie, what do you know? You don't know, you weren't in her shoes. Well, I'm like, she's 18. At 18, what does a typical 18-year-old think about? Their future, what they want to do for the rest of their life, stuff like that. Anyway, let's continue. I'm over here preaching.
Her heart stopped in his operating room after she was sedated for surgery in August 2019. The judge allowed a camera in the courtroom but prohibited us from recording audio. But here's some of what Dr. Kim and Judge Michelle Jones heard at his sentencing hearing. From Emmeline's aunt, Jennifer Pham. Losing a niece was like losing a daughter. I still can't believe this happened. I still pray and hope one day I wake up and this is a bad dream and I'm able to see her beautiful smile and give her a big hug. From Emmeline's brother, Calvin Nguyen. You cannot replace what has been taken from us.
Nope.
What was taken was my oldest sister, my best friend, and my role model. And after attorneys argued, the prosecution for 3 years in prison, the defense for probation, Dr. Kim himself stepped to the microphone. Pausing repeatedly to gather himself, he apologized. I wanted to let Emmeline's family know that there has not been a single day in the past 4 years I did not think of and pray for Emmeline and all of them. I am devastated to know of the pain and anguish.
5 hours. You told your team not to call the police, mofo. That's a lot of time. That girl could have still been alive, but due to his selfish decisions, he was trying to protect his license, just like most medical professionals do. When you make a mistake, you look for any way to cover up for it, but that's neither here nor there. Let's see what
they go through every day. I am so sorry that this happened. Judge Jones sentenced him to spend 15 days in jail and 2 years on probation.
That's it?
Then the handcuffs went on, and he was let off to begin his jail sentence. The hearing took significantly less time than it took for Dr. Kim to call 911 after Emmeline Nguyen's heart stopped.
5 hours.
A delay that was not lost on prosecutor Gary Dawson.
And it was really this doctor's reaction to those complications and the fact that he did it in a cold and calculated manner, that he was only looking out for his best interests of his practice, that he failed to call 911 and ultimately caused those injuries.
The nurse who administered the anesthesia here was originally charged, but that case was eventually dropped. He voluntarily surrendered his medical license. Alex?
Yeah, Kevin, it's so hard to hear the details of this case so many years later, but I'm curious, is Dr. Kim allowed to practice medicine during this probationary period?
The short answer is he's allowed right now. His license was suspended for a time, he was on probation for a time, and he's been ordered to disclose that conviction to his patients. We don't know yet if the medical board is going to take further action now that he's been sentenced. As of now, his license is valid.
Wow. All right, Kevin, thank you for the update.
And see, it shouldn't have took that long for them to take his license. Why did it take so long? His license should have been suspended right there on the spot. He was still allowed to practice medicine during these past few years. These past 4 years, he was still running his practice. What the hell? Something's really going on. Well, I bet you if he would have got more time. Well, this is the country we live in. You know, I mean, these people, they waste all this money, spent all this time to get these college degrees and licenses, and all it takes is one bad decision to just throw it all away. Okay, and here goes another clip, pretty much saying the same thing but in a different way. Let's go, shall we?
The plastic surgery office that was once housed here has moved on, but what happened between these four walls 2.5 years ago haunts one family.
They just don't want this to ever happen to another family.
Attorney David Woodruff represents the parents of Emmeline Nguyen, an 18-year-old girl that walked into this medical building for a breast augmentation surgery in August 2019, only to never walk out.
Every day they live with this. They live with the beauty of their daughter and what they've lost.
According to a civil suit filed by Woodruff, about 15 minutes after Emmeline received anesthesia, Dr. Jeffrey Kim discovered her lips and her face were blue. Documents say he and his nurse anesthetist Rex Meeker found that she was in cardiac arrest. She was resuscitated twice, but never woke up. The lawsuit, as well as Kim's and Meeker's medical suspension papers state, both failed to call 911 for about 5.5 hours. Emmeline was eventually transported to a hospital. She died 14 months later.
This conduct should never have happened here.
This week, the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office arrested Kim. He faces one count of...
Shit, he even looks shady. If somebody, it's like, who would let somebody that looks like this work on their child? Look like he up to no good. I mean, who am I to judge? This is my video and I'm gonna say what I want, right? So he looked like a shady character. That's all I'm saying. Looks are deceiving. He's probably a cool dude, but looked like something could happen and go wrong. But shit. 5 hours. Or should I say 5.5 hours? That's almost a work shift. That's a 7.5 hour work shift almost. So that girl suffered that long, and then on top of that, when they brought her to the hospital, she was pretty much a vegetable for the next several months until she actually died, and that's pretty tragic.
A first-degree aggravated assault and criminally negligent homicide. Rex Meeker is facing a manslaughter charge.
There are very few criminal cases filed against surgeons for botched operations, and it tells.
And see, I'm glad he brought that up, because you got to remember, most physicians and surgeons, they're protected by the state. So it's hard to sue these people, okay? Especially when they work for a large organization versus their own practice. Because see, when you have your own practice, you have your license too. So you have to worry about your business and your license. So that's two things that could pretty much change your whole life if you lose them. But let's go back to the legal analyst.
Us that there's something more going on here than just mere negligence.
9 News legal expert Scott Robinson says while charges against a doctor are not uncommon, the degree of the charges are.
First-degree assault convictions are serious business indeed, and they typically involve a minimum mandatory sentence and double-digit prison time.
Emmeline's family knows the criminal case won't bring their daughter back, but they hope what happened between these 4 walls never happens again.
They don't want any other family to ever go through this kind of trauma.
Jaleesa Rosari, 9 News.
That's crazy, man. Stop. So yeah, I hope you guys learned something from that. I mean, not everybody's into, you know, plastic surgeries and all that, but basically that's murder. That's murder. But anyway, I'll catch you on the next video. This is Kyle Lavelle. Hope you like, comment, subscribe, learn something. Use your head. Peace.